Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now for those of you that don't know me, nice to meet you. My name's Ted and I am a tier 2 CSGO caster, interviewer, analyst, as you want to call me, stream a lot as well. So yeah, welcome to my channel. This is the first episode of one of the new series that I'm going to be starting here. Obviously, some time ago, for those of you that have watched some of my previous videos, I mentioned that I'm going to be starting a couple mini-series, one of them being demo reviews. So yeah, this is the first episode. In the first game, because I'm not gonna start speaking all over the place, because I want to keep those ones as short as possible and be as insightful as possible as well. But basically, we're gonna be following on some interesting performances from the tier 2 space, tier 1.5 maybe from time to time as well. And I'm going to be trying to focus on people that I believe are already on a pretty high individual level or have the potential to become really good players. And for our first game, I've chosen JKAEM, a person that most of you know really well, a person that's played and has had his fair share of tier 1 experience as well. The game we're going to be watching is going to be on NUKE, as you can see around me, even though I'm dropping some shadows, so the green screen is a little bit shite right now. But yeah, it's going to be a new game against KOVA in the Elisa Invitational Main Swiss. Now, you're going to say to yourself, okay, KOVA is not a team on the level of Apex normally, right? But especially on NUKE, I feel like KOVA have a pretty decent NUKE, and what JKAEM did in that game was unspeakable, unholy. We're gonna be watching only his CT side though, because most of the action happened on the CT side. It was a pretty convincing map overall for Apex, so yeah, they won most of their rounds on the CT side, and JKAEM was an absolute beast. So let's get into the game. As you can see, we're already in the server. Game has started. NUKE, CT side, JKAEM, outside player normally. Now we're going to be watching all of these. This is something I forgot to say. All of these demos are going to be watched using the player's resolution and via their crosshair as well, because I want to get us close to the experience as possible. And no X-ray, so we're going to be seeing exactly what he sees. Oh, that's a nice shot to kick things off with. Okay, so now... to give you a little bit of a summary, now JKAEM ends this map on 25 and 14, right? He ends it on a pretty high note, pretty decent score, 119 ADR, 1.68 rating as well. But most of it is done on the CT side, and a couple things I actually want to highlight on the CT side for him is that he's actually able to create a lot of space on his own. Obviously, pissed around is not going to be such a great example. He went outside, a pretty crisp, clean, and nice one tap onto Yuli to open it up. You can see how cautious he's being on the outside area, realizing that if there is a second lurk and if he was to go down, it would have made the round a lot harder for his teammates to win, with main being in the control of the terrorists. And actually he's gonna drop a second one, but yeah, one hell of a pistol round from JKAEM still though. Apex did manage to win it. Now, I'm gonna be a little bit of a noob when I need to actually forward it up, and I'm really sorry. If someone knows a way in which I can customly modify this little thingy here and just make it a little bit smaller and bind forward on some on my keyboard in a way, on some keys, I would be grateful. I don't think CS has that kind of an option. Hasn't been a problem for me, because I've never been trying to actually record myself watching demos. Never actually tried speaking while watching demos as well. I've been just a silent watcher, just trying to notice as many things as possible. But yeah, you can see what his intentions are going to be from the second round. You can see that this early aggression is kind of a protocol thing for him. Just go back red, go outside, try and find a peak. And then when he doesn't find a peak, once his position gets compromised, he doesn't overstay his welcome. He falls back, plays it safely. No need to give a free M4 to the pistols. And now he's going to be able to farm a couple kills, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a couple nice shots. Now he is that kind of a person that has the experience, but it doesn't really matter how much experience you have when you start well on a map like on a map like NUKE. When you start well from the first couple rounds in a game like that, you're always gonna be feeling a little bit better, and you know that he's gonna be steamrolling them. Now, one of the reasons, by the way, I chose to watch JKAEM is because I find it really intriguing with a game that was, well, not recent now. I actually recorded this video once, but my camera was catching my voice, the noise from my voice, as well as my microphone. So yeah, it was pretty much corrupt and I couldn't use it. It was really terrible to listen to. It was like I was, it was like I had a demon inside of me. But yeah, on another note though, JKAEM really resembles the playstyle of Rain, if that makes any sense on this map. I feel like they have the same protocols, although Rain loves playing a little bit backwards, if it makes any sense, whereas JKAEM is a little bit more aggressive. But essentially in the final of the major, for those of you that have watched it, obviously the third map was NUKE between Navi and FaZe. Rain demolished Navi, and I actually wanted to highlight that really badly because he was playing in the same way that JKAEM is going to be playing now. Now you can see from the first buy round, he actually goes to a little bit of an off-angle in garage. It's a pretty commonly used one, but tries to play a little bit more passive in the beginning, right? You want to test the waters. You want to see how KOVA are going to be playing. Now, obviously, you've prepared a little bit, but you want to make sure that you don't throw yourself in the deep ends from the get-go, and you don't want to throw this first buy round out of the window, even though it's a little bit of a bonus one. You haven't lost too many people against the eco, but yeah, still. Want to be as careful as possible, and you can see that he's really proactive around the map. By that I mean, he starts with a pretty defensive position, and then quickly adjusts into a more aggressive angle, goes for information towards outside once the initial trade happens, and realizes that he needs to take some space. And what he does, he clears the entirety of outside, falls down on the B-bomb side, and that makes the task for his teammates a lot easier. Right now, he's covering so much. He cleared out outside. Now, there could be a timing in which they go back, but with 20 seconds, that's not a big possibility, and he has the entire B-bomb side on his own, plus secret and obviously outside covered. So yeah, does a lot. Now though, he's going to be called to the rescue, and you can see he's really proactive on the left hand side of the map, if you can call it like that, you know, towards outside, towards secret. He's constantly moving, constantly trying to make something happen. That's when you can see the experience, making sure you use all the nades in the retake. But Twixie had a really good round in this one. I think I haven't forgotten this one. I think I remember it. Actually, a fun fact, I casted that game when it was live, and I was really impressed by the stuff that JKAEM did show. But yeah, something interesting, obviously, why I chose JKAEM. I feel like he is one of those guys that are not as successful as people like JW and Flusher, right? But he is that same, like, old school, kind of old dog in the CS world, who's actually a really smart player. And actually, he's been grinding a lot to try and make it back into tier 1. A lot of other people in that lineup that have been doing something similar to him, but not with the same success. Maybe he's one of the top performers for the Apex side. Obviously, his positions are with a lot of responsibility as well. But yeah, I feel like he looks like Rain a lot. Not only because they're Norwegian, you know, but the way they approach the game, the positions they're playing, their style is kind of similar. And you can see JKAEM has a really clear pattern on how he wants to play that outside position. So he goes aggressive early on, tries to get up close, looks for someone to surprise. When he doesn't spot anybody, he's like, all right, chill. They're playing this one defensively, they're playing a default, or they don't have anybody, but I don't feel so confident in pushing forward, and I'm just gonna fall back, wait it out. Now, the information is gonna come through, but look at what he's doing now, though. Spams the smoke, opens up the distance, but still tries to remain as active as possible without giving his life for free. He's looking for a one-way, looking towards top of main, looking towards top of silo, doesn't spot anybody, and that gives a lot of freedom to his teammates and a lot of information as well. It kind of makes them be calm on their crosshairs, just hold their positions, not over-rotate, not move around. And he doesn't find that many kills in this round. He finds only 1 kill, but he actually does a lot. Because if he doesn't get that information, that means that there's going to be initial rotations towards the B-bomb side. A player from A might drop down in the vents, and the round from KOVA is going to work perfectly. So, yeah, what JKAEM does there is really big, and it's a little bit risky. But when you have that much time on the timer, of course, left as well. You kind of need to go for something like that. You know, there's not a lot of time. You need to have a rough idea on where the T's are going. Otherwise, you could get caught in a pretty awkward rotation. And once again, you can see he's throwing that exact same smoke, looking for the one way, doesn't spot anybody, turns around for silo. And those are the protocols, right? He has really good protocols on what to do if nothing else happens around the map. Now, in that scenario, KOVA tried to surprise towards A, so he's gonna be trying to support his teammates, finds the last kill. But still, you could see his pattern, right? He has a really clear idea on how he wants to approach and play the rounds. And I think that's really useful, especially when you hit the shots, you know, is the simplicity. And how simply you can actually... It is the simple way that you can approach CS with, but when executed efficiently, it's actually beautiful. And I feel like this is one of the things that people maybe overlook when it comes to CS. The game actually can be pretty simple in the way that you approach it. If you know your protocols, if you know, okay, if that happens, I do that. If that happens, I do that. And you can see that his game looks pretty simple, but it's not easy to do that. And now, when there's been 3 rounds where he's gone aggressive like that, he hasn't spotted a single person, he goes on top of the box. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna stay now. I'm gonna stay. Because they haven't been that heavy towards outside. And I know I'm not gonna get punished for my stay. But you can see how he had that conditioning for the first couple rounds. And now he goes for the peak, stays for a little bit longer. Whereas in the previous rounds, he would have fallen back. And again, gets the kill, gives him information, rotates down, finds another. And now he can just go maximum damage. He's feeling it. He knows that Assylian's rotated as well. JKAEM is just gonna finish it off. That's a textbook round on, okay, I've conditioned. I know how you play the T side now. I know how you approach outside. I know how you play there. And now it's time for you to try and condition with the way that I'm holding outside. Because it's my territory right now. He's done really well. He's made them feel like they have no power towards that part of the map. Because it's obviously kind of awkward because they haven't been investing too much, but when they send the player there, he just gets destroyed. And you can see the same thing happening right now. And obviously now he's going to be a little bit more passive. He knows that they have a weak buy, probably some pistols, maybe a hero rifle, which in this case there is, but he knows what's going on. So he's going to be, you know what, I'm going to play my distance. I'm going to throw my molly. I'm going to make sure that they don't go quickly. And there's the information, rotates back towards hell, gets a nice cheeky double kill, of course. Obviously, some of you are going to say eco kills, but those are important as well. So far looking quite sharp, but yeah, another thing that actually made me really interested in JKAEM, obviously there was a lot of hype around that, surrounding that Apex roster in the beginning of the year. You know, you have JKAEM there, you have Stiko, you have Assylian, Chelsea, NUKE. Actually, that tactical timeout from KOVA is really useful right now because I have a point that I want to make, but yeah, I'm actually going to forward it just a little bit. And you know, because I can't forward it in a normal way because I'm not sure on exactly how bad it could be. I'm just going to do it like that. Oh, okay. So I feel like there's a lot of people like that on this lineup that have had some tier 1 experience, but JKAEM is one of those old school guys, right? Because yeah, NUKE, he's been on tier 1 as well, but that wasn't that long ago, you know what I mean? Same for I'd say there's other players like that, but Stiko is an old dog as well. Assylian, of course a point could be made as well. So yeah, JKAEM obviously being a part of the original Copenhagen Wolves, G2, FaZe Clan, all of these teams, which I'm sure that some of you are unaware of, but most of you should be. Still though, a pretty decent player. Of course, his last I'd say tier 1 team was Renegades and 100 Thieves later on, but yeah, after that things didn't really work out. But you can see that now he's figured out that they're actually not gonna be too aggressive towards outside. You see the AWP of NUKE deciding, you know what, I want to move around, I want to go over towards secret. I think they go outside now. So JKAEM can actually go and play ramp. He can play a little bit of a rotation role, and that's gonna open up a lot of space for his teammates. So you can see that he's actually comfortable with just moving around the map when his teammates want to switch things up. And now NUKE is gonna call for support. JKAEM is gonna be really quick to the rescue. Again, switching things up. That's the first time he's actually had to protect the B-bomb side like that. We had him rotate down a couple rounds ago, but it was a little bit different. They knew that outside was clear, and now KOVA are coming in from the outside area. But if I'm not mistaken, KOVA actually go back towards main and play A in this round, so he's gonna be a little bit finessed. You can even see how confused he got when they opened the door. Josie actually does really well in that scenario to make it winnable for them. But yeah, again, he's rotated well. And again, he's rotating well. And that's another round that could be won quite easily. That kill is really crucial, but yeah, loses the fight, and I think they lose the round in the end as well, because of that one. But you know, it happens like that from time to time, you know, especially when you know that especially when you know that it's gonna be a pretty different round from what they did previously. You try to switch it up, and from time to time you just get cold. I mean, he spent the entire round not seeing anybody, and then the first person he sees it's a kill for the round. So yeah, I guess we can understand that. It's just gonna be the eco now. Oh no, it's gonna be a force buy. Okay, so we're gonna watch this one. I remember there was, I'm actually not sure if they had a single eco throughout this first half. I don't want to spoil it. I think they didn't have a single eco, or maybe they had one throughout the CT side, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, you can see him switching things up again. This time around, he's gonna go towards secret straight away. They had the idea with the AWP last time around. Now they're like, you know what? We want to give him that multi-kill potential. He's been feeling it. He's 13 and 4. Really quick. That's nice information. That's nice calls. JKAEM is really quick down secret. Arax wasn't ready for that whatsoever. And again, oh, he spotted the players up mini. Gets the kill. No problems. That's a crazy round, right? Because he makes it look so easy. That was actually 3 people. That was one guy dropping down vent, another on top of main, another one deep, and he's gonna get all 4. I think he gets the ace here as well. That's such a crazy round, because you could see that they were just playing the default. They were trying to get cheeky with the player dropping down the vent, but every single person got welcomed by the same player, and that was JKAEM. Gets the 5th. That's pretty much the best conditioning for an ace that you could wish for. I mean, that was 5 separate 1v1s, and the kill into the vent was a little bit of a free kill. The kill on top mini was a free kill as well. The person wasn't looking towards him. Then there was one guy on an 8. Then there was another guy that was fully flashed. There was 1 out of 5 people actually had a fair chance at shooting back at JKAEM. And that's what makes it so insane, by the way. He gets himself into 5 1v1s, and 4 of them are pretty advantageous. And again, straight away, dropping towards secret. They're not going to be ready for him to be towards ramp, especially because of the ult. Whiffs a little bit here. Actually, he gets only 1 kill, but, you know, we can't be mad at him. He's been having a really good game so far. We're just going to fast forward towards the next round. But you can see that he realizes that they're not spending too much time. They're not spending too much resources towards outside. So he's like, you know what? I can actually stay here and just give the same information every single time. I can do the same protocol thing every single time. Throw my smoke, get aggressive, spot no one, fall back, give the information, maybe get 1 kill. But he wants to get involved. He wants to help his teammates right now, because he knows that he's feeling it and he's constantly moving around the map, which is kind of cool. You know, Apex are actually going to be playing in the playoffs of Elise as well, which will take part next week, I believe. So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see him perform. Now that's a good round. I think Apex is just safe here. They just went for the Hail Mary execute A. I actually think JKAEM gets an exit kill here, so I'm not gonna forward it if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's the kill, and that's the round. Nothing more. 20 kills now. 20 and 5. Did I miss a kill? No, I didn't, right? I hope I didn't miss a kill right now. But still, so far he's been 20 and 5. It's something I want to highlight. That's not a flashy guy, right? He's not a flashy player. You couldn't call any of those plays flashy. I mean, bar the ace, right? The ace was cool. But again, it was just 5 really well situated 1v1s. And really well picked. Oh. That's the first time he actually feels uncomfortable, right? You can see it right there. He wasn't ready for that player to be so quick towards top mini, but falls back in time, realizes, you know what, maybe not now. Maybe it's not the time to go hyper aggressive. But still, even though they send the player that's really quick towards top mini, you can see that KOVA giving him a lot of respect right now. And he's gonna be able to rotate back. Obviously, this is a round with a couple hero rifles, so he needs to actually step up if they want to win this one. And so far, the damage has been decent. A little bit of an eco, so obviously himself and Steeko are gonna be moving a little bit more around the map, and they're gonna be trying to get into a good position to maybe surprise their opponents. And now, look at this. He's like, you know, my Oper is down on B. Do I really want to join him in? Or I wanna separate it. Now, a good decision would be stack a bomb site, say. But he's like, I will have money for a rebuy. Everyone's gonna have money. I'm feeling it. I'm gonna go exploring. There's 45 seconds. There's a good chance if I get aggressive and catch a good timing, I get a free kill. This is what happens, and it's a perfect timing. He catches the bomb as well. From that point on, it's really tough. They need to pick up 1v1s once again, and he's just feeling it right now, so he's not losing any 1v1s anytime soon. That's another round that is just so tough. And look at the decision. He's like, I dropped the bomb. I got a double kill. I'm not gonna get a third one. Well, I might, but I don't want to risk it. Now we can play the man advantage. He was just playing maximum damage. He either gets a double kill and they play a 2v1, or he dies and Steeko saves the AWP. And now he's given them a chance, and I believe he's gonna win the round as well. The smoke actually creates a little bit of a one-way for him. Yuli gets the kill, but yeah, JKAEM wins enough time, and even though he's actually went down, he won the round for them. 22 now. Wow. That's impressive. You know, every single other time I watch this, I'm more and more impressed by it. Like, there's always little things that you miss out in demos, and there's always like little things that you can maybe highlight a little bit more. Wait. Oh, they lost the round. I think I just forwarded one round. Wait, okay.
1,000 years later.
Okay, we're here. We are where we're supposed to be. And yeah, JKAEM, they managed to win the round. Now, the only problem is that they don't have a lot of money, because they did lose a lot of players. They pretty much lost everybody bar Steeko, if I'm not mistaken. He is the one that dropped over the O. But yeah, still not plenty of cash, but another really, really important round, really vital round from our boy JKAEM, who's actually playing 10-24. Stretched, for those of you that are wondering. Now, this is something new. That's the first time he actually goes aggressive towards door. He's gonna drop down the vent. Something that he did a couple rounds ago, but he went through ramp to control the vent rotation. Yeah. Not following the same path, actually. But again, opening up a lot of space, just switching things up, making sure that KOVA are not gonna just delete him, because they know how he's approaching his situations and how he plays. Out of the gate, though, you could see that this is actually the first round that they try to push towards outside and get a little bit more information. Get a little bit more enthusiastic, let's say, towards Garage, towards Hell, and that's the first round he's not doing. So yeah, that's gonna be a little bit of a stinker for Apex, and a really good call from KOVA, by the way. That was a good call. I like that call. But hey, force buy. I think that was the only round that I remember that they had to play with pistols. Actually, it wasn't even an eco, it was a force buy, yeah. And it's just gonna be a couple of Deagles and a CZ. Now, what he does with the pistol, he's like, you know what? I'm just going for it. I need to make a difference. It's a Hail Mary play. He needs to be aggressive, and he goes down instantly. But you know what? We're actually gonna watch that round. And the reason we're gonna watch that round is because they actually did win it. I think NUKE gets another one. Yep, the CZ. Assylian drops one, and actually the pistols work out here. So the force buy, they managed to win, and because of that, they actually get a pretty comfortable CT side. So far, KOVA, in terms of score, not doing a bad job, considering that this is T side NUKE as well. And that's the thing that I mean, right? KOVA is not a bad team on the T side of NUKE, but still JKAEM puts up that performance, which is crazy. That's annihilation. Still 22 and 7, even an 8, pardon. Even though they've lost 5 rounds, he's still 22 and 8, which is impressive. We're gonna even look at that. 162 ADR. Whew. And you know what's the thing, right? A lot of people's success towards outside relies a lot on support from the rotation players, like flashes, spam through the smoke, just creating diversions. You know, he's been doing that alone. He's been fairly alone in most of the things he's done. That's why I think it's so impressive. That's why I find it really impressive, and I find it so sick and cool. Is because he's been really alone. Like, he's been the guy to support his teammates in a way, and that's sick. That's sick. You know, he realizes he's having a good game. He's like, you know what? I'll take a lot more initiative. I don't want no support. I want to be the guy moving around and supporting people. And whenever someone wants to go for a play, he's like, okay, I'm just repositioning accordingly to what you want to do. And this is the same. NUKE feels like going for an outside peek. JKAEM is the guy that's gonna flash. Now, Yuli is still gonna get the flash kill, but this time around, JKAEM is actually gonna get tested and dropped. And that's the first time that they actually managed to catch him off guard. That was a really sick call, just going through the outside smoke. But since this is the last round of the half, we're gonna watch it until the end. I think Apex win this one as well, on the back of that Asilium play. Yeah, drops the bomb, molly on it, another smoke. That was a bit awkward with the van, but hey, Chelsea is here for the rescue, or maybe not. Yeah, they're actually doubling back towards the A-bomb side. Yeah, but Chelsea's already there, going up the vent, gets the kill, and ZK should be dropped any moment now to solidify Apex's victory in a 10-5 fashion on the CT side of NUKE. A game that they ended up winning 16-7, by the way, so they had a pretty decent T side, but the T side obviously didn't see JKAEM being that involved. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the CT side. Okay, guys, so that was it for the first one. Highly impressed by JKAEM's performance. I always enjoy looking at games that, you know, players are not necessarily the flashiest guys, but they're just making really smart decisions, just moving around the map really well, reading the game of the enemies, just having really good conditioning. And yeah, he got caught off guard maybe only once or twice for that entire game. A sad thing is that he actually gets only 1 or 2 kills, I think, in the second half, so doesn't actually go over that 30 kill mark. But that was one hell of a CT side from him, and I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that performance from him. I really enjoyed the showing. I think that was a pretty sick game. And for all of you that are maybe looking to become outside players on NUKE, and you're playing in some lower like level teams, but you want to be playing that position, I highly recommend looking at that, because the flashiness is great. It's attractive. It's really spectacular. It's really nice to look into and watch. But this is not what makes you a good player, and not what wins you games. You know, when you can play the good protocols and you just know what you should be doing, and just move around accordingly, most of the time you're going to be picking up easy fights. And I think that JKAEM did really well in picking up favorable fights for himself. And even when they weren't favorable, he was already on fire, because he was winning those favorable fights in the beginning of the game. So, you know, it builds up. It's the momentum. And he had a really good game. Obviously, that's going to be the end of the first one. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, if you have any even criticism on this type of content, let me know in the comment section, because I'm kind of new in this one, and obviously I'm going to try to make it better and better and more enjoyable to watch with every single other episode. And of course, let me know if there is a specific player you want me to watch, and a specific player that you want me to analyze, and a specific game maybe. I'm going to be more than interested, because, you know, I love watching some nice CS. And I hope to see you around for the next one, because we're gonna be watching some damn nice CS. I can tell you that for free. But yeah, bye bye to everyone. Like the video, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I'll see you really soon. Peace.